Hello, it's Carmen, your Divine Synergist of Heart's Joy. Thank you for joining this week's conversation. I do have a new microphone, so if you could just drop in the chat box and let me know that sounds okay on your end, that would be very helpful. So today we are 2 days post-election, and there is a lot happening in the media and the emotions and feelings of the collective. So that's what I'd like to address tonight. So as we go along, any questions you have or comments, feel free to drop those in the chat. So this particular election is giving us a chance, an opportunity to actually come together, to finally come together unified. And what I find interesting is we, the people, have the majority, I should say, not myself, have chosen to stay divided as we have for how many years, and especially over the past, I don't know, 6, 9 months, however long we've been in quarantine. And I want to talk about a couple things tonight. Is one, why are some of you choosing that? And then I want to talk about the energy piece as well. And then we're going to do a quick card reading at the end. So I have almost just not looked at any social media. I'm looking at it right now for business purposes, for my business Heart's Joy, for another event that I'm involved in as well. And other than that, it's gotten so bad on social media that I've chosen to do my best to not look or read. I'm disheartened, sad by what I'm seeing. I'm curious as to why we've chosen as a collective to not come together. We've chosen, some people have still chosen to live in a I'm right, you're wrong. I'm better than you. That one candidate is better over the other. And that if you voted for that candidate, I'm not going to be your friend. And I get and understand where somebody says, well, if you're, against, if you're for racism or, against gays and all that, yes, I understand where you're coming from. I feel the same way. I'm typically not friends with those people anyway, personally. So that's where I said earlier that my energies are aligned. So my friends are people who my energies are aligned with who I am. And what I'm really curious about is why we are still choosing the divisiveness when we're calling for unity. That's what bothers me the most, is that we as a collective since last June, July, have been called to live this unity, which is this fifth dimensional energy perspective. And if you aren't sure what that is an energy grid that has surrounded the earth. That's this new perspective that we're being asked to have, that we're being called to have, and we're being pushed in that direction. And there's a lot of things that are being dismantled that no longer serve us, which that's what 2020 is all about, is dismantling the things that no longer served us, that haven't served us. And so I feel like this election right now is just showing us as a collective what gets to be dismantled, one of the many things that gets to be dismantled, and how we're reacting to it. Because collectively, how we're reacting to it is really disheartening. So my question for those of you who are listening or you're watching the video is is what are you experiencing right now, and how can you help to shift it? Are you truly for unity, or are you okay with being quote unquote right all the time? Are you okay with um, being divisive, with being defensive all the time? Um, for me, physically, at an energy level, I'm struggling. I physically have been struggling all week to get up, to do small tasks, um, feel like I don't even want to eat. And I'm curious as to how everyone else is feeling as well physically. Um, I'm feeling the collective. I feel and I hear the cries, the fears, the worries of the collective. People are telling me they aren't sleeping. They're waiting to make decisions based on this. And my question is why? Why are we giving that power away? I talked about that last week. I don't understand that. Um, are so okay, let's say the president elect is announced. Then what? What are you going to do? What is your game plan? Are you going to get up and move somewhere else? Are you going to quit your job and just quit life and quit? What are we doing? Or are you just going to get up and wake up and do life as normal and do better than who you were the day before? Are you living intentionally? Are you living on purpose, or are you just living robotically on automatic? So, what are your next steps? I heard earlier this week somebody say, well, I want to find the middle. I don't know if there is a middle, and maybe their definition of middle is different than mine. I don't think there is a middle. It's a get to neutral, acceptance, and know that in the end, everything is going to work out. Now, I'm not saying don't stand up for what you believe in. Absolutely. And you can do both. I still stand up for what I believe in. And I have friends who voted for both parties. And that's none of my business. I don't ask. I honor them. I honor where they are, because at the end of the day, we are spiritual beings who each chose to come and live this experience right now. And here's what I find very interesting. So, by the way, I read both rhetoric. I read the rhetoric of both sides. I do. I encourage you to do so. It's the best thing ever that I started to do a few months ago. Because when you do that, you'll see how they've made it so divisive on purpose. They've put the people on the left side in so much fear and the people on the right side in so much fear. And their fears are actually the same. All they're doing is this, they're just blaming one another. It's done on purpose. So, what I'm encouraging you to do is to literally take yourself out of that story, because these are just stories that they're telling each other. You guys, it's marketing. They're stories that they're telling each other. And take yourself out of it. Take yourself out of the sandbox. I'm going to give you a good visual. This is what it looks like to be in the sandbox. You've got your 3D glasses on, and it just is really dark and gloomy, and it feels really, really heavy. And when you take yourself out of the 3D sandbox and put yourself into 5D, and you can actually see above and look at everything from a whole different perspective, and you're not tied to the fact that the person who you voted for didn't win, you ultimately know that in the end, everything's going to work out, and that we get to go through certain lessons, because that's actually going to make things easier on you, versus because you're so deeply tied and held to who you think should win. I would love to hear your thoughts on this subject, on how I can help you navigate things, that whether it be the energy or the perspective on what's happening. I get that it's a hot button, and it's interesting because it doesn't trigger me anymore like it used to. I'm just exhausted from all of the energy of the collective. So can you get to a point that you're not triggered? The other thing I've noticed is, I've offered help plenty of times and people don't take me up on it or say, no, I don't need it. No, thanks. I honor that. And it's just because y'all would rather complain instead. That's bottom line. People would rather complain than make a change. That's something growing up that my father used to say, you know, either do something about it or I don't want to hear about it. And absolutely, 100%. I get it now. I didn't as a kid. I get it now. So that's my question for you. Do we need to clear sometimes and just get stuff off our chest? Absolutely. When it becomes though that's your everyday moaning and groaning and complaining about things, um, that's different. Um, Another question is, what are some of the lessons that we learned over the last 9 months that we get to put into practice right now? What are those? What does that look like? Because for me, it's all about self care. I can't tell you how many times this week I've told people, I do not have the capacity this week, or I do not have the capacity today. And that's me honoring myself and not piling more things on. All right. I'm going to pull some cards. I just get the energy that this is not going to land well with a lot of people. So I'm going to move on because it's not landing well. I get that. You're not in a place yet where you can absorb this information. And once you do, I would be honored to be there to walk you through this. So let's go and pull some cards. I've got 2 different decks out. One is an oracle deck that I pulled 3 cards ahead of time. And the first one is courage. And it's basically asking you to step into your courage. It says, this is a time for new beginnings. A challenging cycle is coming to an end. Be courageous and victory will be yours. So whatever that looks like for you to have courage in your life, whether it is to speak your truth, maybe that's one of the lessons that you learned that kept coming up for you over the last 9 months, and now you finally get to speak your truth. Really have the courage to do whatever it is that you need to do for yourself. And it could be that you have a cycle ending at this time. The next card is protect. This is definitely a protection of your energy. It's something for if anybody like me where you're feeling the collective energies, protect yourself, protect your energy field. If you would like help with that, please reach out. There's all sorts of different tips and tricks I can share with you on how to protect your energy field so that you're not feeling everybody so much. Which is why I feel like it's so strong right now because I do a protection every day and I'm still feeling all the angst of the collective. So make sure to have protection around your energy field. And then the last card is encouraging you to meditate. Go within. It's been the theme for the year, and meditate. If you're saying, Carmen, I've tried to meditate, hasn't worked. It's a story that you told yourself. It's a practice. Hop back on the mat, hop back on a pillow, wherever it is that you meditate, and go ahead and meditate. I'm going to go ahead and do a live card pull with this other deck, which is an angel deck, and we'll just ask them what they would like for us to know. Also, if you would like help for meditation, the Meditation Cafe is launched. And you can get quickie on the goes meditations for those who've been meditating for a while. And, oh, here we go. And meditations for those who are brand new. All right, and shower of abundance. So this is definitely to heal financial situations. This is, I know, on the top of a lot of people's minds because of the impacts of quarantine that I've had on a lot of families financially. And it's saying you will receive a shower of abundance financially. And it says to heal your financial situation, first give us your worries concerning money. We will guide you in order to show you how to create and accept abundance. As we work together, your financial situation will heal as fast as you'll allow. And a lot of when you work with the angels is asking them to come in to help you, because that's what they're there for and they want to help you. It's just a matter of you asking for that help. And if this is something that you'd like to learn more about, how to communicate with your angels, if you'd like direction in your life or clarity about whether it's your life or your career, please feel free to reach out. The next Live on Purpose course, the last day to hop in is the 10th of November. We will start shortly after that. So, and I'm going to drop a link in the comments so that you guys have that with more information. So, is my energy different this week? Yes. A lot of you can feel it. A lot of you have reached out. There's a reason for that. And frankly, I'm honoring myself and speaking my truth to help you guys, to help the collective shift. It's time for those who haven't shifted yet to shift, to wake up, to take ownership, take responsibility, and let's move forward together in unity. We can get through this. We can. Sending you much love.